Maybe also reading and reciting out loud, a lot of entertainment resources, entertainment news, and very appropriate and safe and sound, and very excellent, fine and good about 100% of the time, and very appropriate and safe and sound about 100% of the time. And we're family members, FMs, and family and friends, for example. A lot of entertainment resources, entertainment news, and a lot of gestures, motions, and movements, a lot of that kind of audience, that sort of audience, and that kind of audience, and reading and reciting aloud, for example, for instance, so-called different so-called calisthenics. Calisthenics are exercises, different acting stages and acting studios, and auditoriums, and acting stages and acting studios, and different theatrics, and animatronics, and various so-called tumbling, and gestures, emotions, movements, a lot of laughter and geek and comedy jokes, for example. In this book that movie script, a book that writing jokes, the man in the video person said, paraphrase, there's so-called excellent and fine and good conspiracies and plots to do excellent, fine and good. A lot of laughter and geek and comedy jokes. Certain so-called conspiracies and plots to do excellent, fine and good. Maybe with about 2 or more individuals or persons, for example, maybe with oftentimes about 2 or more individuals or persons, so-called conspiracies or plots to do excellent, fine, and good. A lot of laughter and giggling, comedy jokes, and different so-called conspiracies or plots to do excellent, fine, and good, maybe with oftentimes with about 2 or more individuals or persons. Very important resources, money, currency, supplies, materials, court cases, and terms and definitions, and court cases, and books that are writing jokes, and paraphrase so much vivid the man in the video, they'd feel sorry for you, they'd feel bad for you. And there were also many cases your attorneys and lawyers, and your defense attorneys, your defense lawyers, and your defense psychiatrists, and your defense lawyers and defense attorneys, for example. A lot of laughter and giving comedy jokes in this book that are movie scripts and book that are writing jokes, maybe millions of billions of trillions of quadrillions of years ago to about the present, maybe millions of billions of trillions of quadrillions of years ago to about the present. And then the book of movie scripts sort of cooling down, and calming down about 80 or 81,000 years ago about the present, about 80 or 81,000 years ago about the present. Different economics, and economies sort of calming down and cooling down. Very important resources, money, currency, supplies, materials, and resources. In this book, the movie scripts, the man individual person said you might want to be careful. Well, first of all, they're not really capable of prolonged long duration extreme hatred. Prolonged long duration grudges, or extreme prolonged long duration hatred. So that's good. And it'd be sort of toothless, so-called toothless, prolonged long duration toothless. And this book, the movie script saying, a book that are writing jokes saying that they want more. First of all, they say that about 0% of the time they'd want to help you. They'd probably want to help you if very appropriate and safe and sound and very excellent and good. Probably trying to help you. They probably feel bad and sorry for you. But you might want to be careful of about 10, 20, 30 years, of extremely calming down and cooling down and viewing many websites and advertisements, certain advertisements, commercials, brochures, mailings, commercials, advertisements, brochures, and infomercials, and pop-ups, and commercials and advertisements, and websites, blogs, and radio shows, and commercials, advertisements, brochures, advertisements, and as well, because if there's a huge maybe drop off, maybe over about 10, 20, 30 years, over time it might be so-called titrated, very bad. Maybe not enough energies or resources and monies for many of your fellow members and citizens to live very well, and to sort of live or die. So reading this book, that are movie script out loud, a lot of interesting books that are writing jokes, and different so-called science fiction, horrors, adventures, comedies, and dramas, and adventures, science fiction, for example, past, present, future, paraphrase quotation, summarize, abbreviated. Sort of continue with the continuation of many books that are writing jokes, maybe done, completed, and different so-called news videos, and news articles, and books that are writing jokes, maybe continuation, already completed as well. Very important resources, money, currency, supplies, materials, and resources, age, year to year. We're family members, FMs are family members, FMs are family and friends. Very important exercises, calisthenics, and theatrics, and acting stages and acting studios, and resources, money, currency, supplies, materials, and resources. Others very much personalized and customized, or customized and personalized, customized and customized and personalized medicines, supplies, materials, food supplies, materials, resources, and foods, energies, resources, monies, currencies, and supplies, materials, and resources. For example, for instance, so-called. And we're family members, FMs, and family and friends. And very excellent, finding good about 100% of the time. Very excellent, finding good much of the time. Very excellent, finding good much of the time. Very excellent, finding good about 100% of the time. Very appropriate and safe and sound much of the time. Very appropriate and safe and sound much of the time. Very appropriate and safe and sound about 100% of the time. And we're family members, FMs, and family and friends. We're real kinships KS. We're real kinships KS. We're real kinfolks KF. Real kinfolks KF, and real family members, FMs, and family members, FMs, and family and friends. For example,